everyone, I'm Kaitlin.
And I am Jillian.
And we are the hosts of the OK Drama podcast.
We're two friends recap and break down K-dramas one episode at a time.
Yay!
I'm so glad I have that memorized now. It only took I don't know how many episodes.
Like 60.
I was just so used to having it as a guide that I'm reading along. And when it wasn't there, those few times I'd be like, oh shit, what do I say? I think I have it now.
Like something about friends and dramas.
We do something with a drama. I don't know.
Right. Okay. So we're going to start with our housekeeping. I don't know, I have to say stuff in air quotes when I feel like weird about saying it. But we would love it if y'all rated and reviewed the podcast. 5 stars, please.
Please.
Yes. You can also talk to us on the internet by going on Twitter at OKDramaPod. That is where we house all of our fun polls for award shows and
upcoming dramas.
My general ravings about other stuff I'm watching. We're also on Instagram, OK Drama Podcast, and Facebook, OK Drama Podcast. And we have a website, okdrama.com. Yes. You can also email us, okdramapodcast@gmail.com or contact@okdrama.com. And our Patreon is live. That was my Oprah voice.
I could tell. I immediately got Oprah from that. Good job.
Good. Thanks. So yeah, you can become one of our patrons. We have 4 tiers. So I feel like there is a tier for every budget.
And every tier is important to us.
Exactly. If you just want our bonus episodes, it's $3 a month, and then it gets a little bit more expensive as you go up with increasing benefits and like little merch goodies and stuff. So,
but it goes up because you get those cool little merch things like the stickers and the patches and the virtual hangouts with Kaitlin and I. So yeah, it's going to be so fun. We already have our first patron. Yay.
Thank you, Joshua. You are our little angel.
Sweet angel baby.
Yes, 100%. So yeah, we would love it if y'all would be one of our patrons because we can't wait to show you guys the merch. If you don't feel comfortable being a patron with your budget or whatever, that merch will also be in our store, our online store.
Yeah, that'll probably launch like September.
Yeah, so
I don't know what date it is now. We're like recording the pod early. We're doing a different route this time with recordings. So Caitlin's not rushing the night before to get episodes ready. So I honestly don't know when this episode is airing.
I don't either. I feel like it's in 3 weeks from now, so it might already be almost September.
Yeah, so either it's almost September and the store is almost going to launch, or it's already September, in which case, go to the store.
Yeah, but we're very excited, and if you follow us on social media, you will see all of our cute little merchy things. So
yeah, by this point, they should be there.
Yes.
Still waiting on them to arrive.
I'm not good at figuring out things on a timeline.
No.
Like where I am in time versus like the future or the past.
Yeah, I mean, I have a planner, so maybe I should just write down these episodes of when they're supposed to air, and that might be beneficial.
Yeah.
But I never do that.
I started a Google Calendar for us.
Oh, that's
and I did that for the Patreon episodes. So
wonderful. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Oh, also, our Patreon episodes. Guys, as of August 1st, our first Strangers from Hell podcast is live, where Andrew and Jill are covering Strangers from Hell. It's really fun. I'm not watching because I'm a scared baby, but I'm editing their episodes and they sound real fucking creepy, so I'm glad I'm not watching.
I'm a big fan of the Duke Jung. He's a little freak that I like a lot. I'm really enjoying that series. We're about to finish it like in the next couple of days.
Cool. Yeah, I think the guy that I really like, the actor, plays the dentist.
Ah, I like him too. The pale guy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but that's what I've been calling him.
Cool. Yeah, he is, like, so good in Goblin. And cool. He plays Grim Reaper in Goblin.
I can totally see that.
Yeah.
And in Strangers, he's very, like, quiet and just, like, sleek, slinking around, like... I don't know. He just has this really cool sort of attitude.
Yeah. I feel like we need to just watch Goblin because I've talked about it so many times.
You really have. And I still, like, I always just, like, kind of erase it from my memory in case we do end up watching it. Yeah. So I think, like, once I actually start watching, be like, oh, yeah, I remember Kaitlin told me about this.
Yeah. I haven't spoiled any major plot points. I've just been like, well, this is a thing.
And so-and-so's in here, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I think it would be a great show for us to talk about because I feel like there are some problematic elements in it. But there are also such good elements in it that I'm like... Ugh. Anyway, I can't contain myself. My hands are flapping around.
Maybe we'll add it to the next poll after Coffee Prince.
Totally.
And see what
That'd
the people want.
I definitely want to do a historical drama, so...
Yes.
That is, like, partially... historical.
All right.
Anyway, let's get into Coffee Prince. I am loving Coffee Prince. How are you feeling?
Coffee Prince is very fun.
It is. There are some gross parts where I'm like, there's a lot of why-thos, like similar to Bong Soon.
There's some why-thos in these two episodes where I literally said out loud while I was watching, why is she doing that? What the fuck?
Yes, or like, why is Mr. Hong fucking disgusting?
Yes, he's so gross.
Why?
Dude, this morning, I, like, woke up for a bit, I had a class, and then I went back to sleep. And as I was, like, laying down, I had the fucking song in my head that Han sung to that girl that he sung to Yuju, and it was, like, fucking 10 minutes long. I was, like, in my head humming this song, and I was like,
how did you remember it?
I don't know. And then, like, I was thinking, like, holy shit, it's from Coffee Prince. And after I said that, I immediately forgot how the song went. This little, like, worm just entered my ear and started singing that song.
Crazy.
It's so strange. And I couldn't tell you how it goes anymore.
I have no idea how it goes. I think I just tuned it out because I was like, cringe. Like, I'm just going to.
Long. It was so fucking long.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yikes. Well.
All right.
Let's
jump on in.
Coffee Prince. We have our Okay Mama segment because my mom came through. So we're a little behind. She sent me episodes, her like little review of episodes 1 through 4, and we're recording 5 through 6 now. Okay. So I guess we can just start Okay Mama at the top of the show, kind of
sounds great,
covering what we did the last couple episodes.
Cool.
So she sent me a lot. I'm going to try to like just kind of skim through it.
Okay.
Real quick. And you can jump in and tell me what you think of my mom's commentary.
Okay.
Okay. So first off, my mom says, I adore this drama. Thanks for giving me a chance to rewatch it. One thing I realized this time around that I didn't realize before is that I really identify with the main character, Unchan. As a child, I was always being mistaken for a boy. I didn't know that about my mom. I did know that my mom had a really short haircut like Unchan.
Okay. My mom did too, when she was, like, really little.
Yeah, maybe that was, like, a 70s...
maybe.
...thing. Anyway. Even though I am grown now, I am still not very feminine, not good at doing makeup, don't dress with style. I think my mom is selling herself short here, but whatever. Don't have an elegant walk, and often feel like I don't really fit in. I wish I had her positive, naive outlook on life. She just keeps working hard and moving forward, and she never feels sorry for herself, and everyone can't help but like her. Such a great way to live. Yeah. Unchan is like, the thing about Unchan is she's awkward, but she's so earnest about everything that she does that you just, like, you can't really fault her for anything, because she's just trying her best. So, my mom talks about bathhouses in Korea. So she's saying most apartments are small and don't have bathtubs. My house doesn't have a bathtub. And I kind of wish I could go to a bathhouse, because there are some times when you just want to soak.
Totally.
In a tub. But I don't know how I would feel being naked around a bunch of people. Yeah. So, the most popular service at a bathhouse is a body scrub. This is what Jackie was talking about at the Korean spa.
Yes. The hard scrubs.
Yes. So basically everybody's naked. They use these scrubbing mitts to exfoliate your body. Supposedly it hurts but feels refreshing. And they have these pots you can squat over, and an herb steam steams your vagina. My mom said female area, but we didn't know what that means. They're said to rid the body of toxins and help women with menstrual cramps, bladder infections, kidney problems, and fertility issues. I'm just calling it steaming your vagina, but okay. She said the drama showed people in towels and underwear, but in reality, everyone is naked. The towels in Korea are only slightly longer than hand towels. They definitely don't wrap around even a really thin person. So I guess, like, most of the towels in Korea are what Hangul was, like, drying himself off with.
Yeah. It's just used to, like, wipe your body real quick.
Yeah. I've been a couple of times. At first it felt weird being naked. Everything is done naked. The bathing pools, the hot tub, the shower area isn't curtained off, but it's such a normal part of their Korean culture that no one really cares about anyone else's body. So the best thing to do is just walk confidently and keep your eyes down. LOL.
And I feel like Jackie even said that too on Natch Butte. Like, everyone's naked, so no one's fucking worrying about you. Yeah. They're all worrying about themselves.
Yeah. I'm, like, medium okay with being naked. Like, I wouldn't, like, be a nudist for sure, but I still feel a little self-conscious, but I think if in the right setting, I would just, like, not really care. Alex is a never nude, I think, so. Absolutely. He doesn't want to be.
Alex doesn't even want his little batas to be shown.
I know. Alex wants to be as covered as possible.
I don't think Andrew cares very much.
Yeah.
I feel like Andrew would do it. He would go to a Korean spa.
Yeah. I wonder if maybe Alex... Well, we'll talk about it later. We have some stuff to get through. So, my mom talks about food delivery. Basically, everyone gets food delivered in Korea. The fun thing that I learned that she told me about is that... so, the metal food warmers that Unchan delivers the food in. Okay, I always thought those bowls were just, like, compostable or something, but they're plastic, and the food delivery people come and pick them up after you're done.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So she says, all of the coffee shops and restaurants can be fined if they serve your food and drink in to-go type plastic, paper containers, but you can eat and drink them in the store. The government is serious about reducing waste.
Ah, that's very nice. Cool.
Yeah. Milk delivery. Many things are delivered in this way in Korea. It's common to see bags for drop-off/pickup left on doorknobs. Most common one is for books. You reserve books online. They get dropped off in a bag. Put them back in the bag when you're done, and every other week or so, someone comes around and switches the books out.
That's cool.
That is very nice. She says, music producer must be hella rich. Almost no one lives in a single-family home, especially not alone. It's pretty rare for people to even have apartments on their own. She says, I live in a rural area, and apartments here go for around $330,000. They have two ways to pay. Wolse and Jeonse. Wolse is most like the American leasing system. You pay a deposit and pay monthly rent. Most Koreans look down on people who do this. It is considered only for poor people. However, the deposits are big. Usually the absolute cheapest you can find is $2,000. I have seen for small efficiency-style apartments in the $5,000 range. For a nicer apartment with 1 or 2 bedrooms, you're looking at $20,000 plus. The deposit for the deposit, and then 900 to 1,000 a month for rent. Most Koreans do jeonse. With this, you put down 90% of the value of the apartment and then pay no rent. So in my area, people need to put down around $300,000 for an apartment. She says, like, Jesus. Who? How?
Oh my God.
In both cases, you get your deposit back when you move out, minus fees and damages. Landlords make their money by putting your deposit in an account and drawing interest. You get no interest. The best you can hope for is a full return for your deposit.
Guess I'll just live at Eat and Go, Shiwan. God damn.
Yeah. She says, finally, this is an old show, but really highlights the Korean view on homosexuality. It is highly frowned upon. Very few people live openly gay. Often you'll hear older or narrow-minded people say they hate foreigners in Korea because we brought the gays. Like there weren't already openly gay people in Korea. The very young high school, middle school generation is more tolerant of people being different, but Korea is a homogenous society, so being different is not really acceptable. Even their clothes don't have sizes. Most things are free size or one size, and you can't try them on in stores, which is true. Like, they don't really have fitting rooms, and if they do, you have to, like, ask permission to use the fitting room, and only certain things in the store you can try on. Yeah. Okay, so 3 and 4, let's go over those real quick. She says so many stairs and hills in Korea. This isn't a great place for people in wheelchairs or with mobility issues. Sad face.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. I think in W, the drama, W something, there's a character who's in a wheelchair in that show, and she, like, talks about how certain places need to have ramps and things like that. But yeah. Korea is not, like, ADA friendly, I guess. But my mom says the Barbie shoes foreplay scene was weird and strange to watch. Why did she even have those? We didn't talk about that, but that was really weird.
I think I just blocked that one out of my memory. Ugh, yeah. That was very strange.
Yeah, it was weird. I was like, am I missing something?
I didn't understand why. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even want to go there.
No. She says, love the meal leads home, cool pull-out bed and wardrobes. I also like the pull-out stuff. Very cool. My mom says, Unchan's mom is sort of stereotypical, a little rough to Unchan, not worried about her daughter being away from home at a man's house overnight because, quote, her face is her weapon. Sad face. She says, why does the rich music producer have such terrible glasses?
Yeah, they're not super cute.
Those were 2000s glasses, Mom.
That's true.
Everyone had those. Those, like, thick black frames, but they were rectangles. Not, like, Buddy Holly style that we have now. Okay, she says, these episodes show a difference in the way men handle problems and issues and how girls do. The guys shout, maybe get a little physical, and then get over it quickly. Unchan was still upset for a while after being yelled at and fired, rehired, and yelled at again. The male lead was like, was I mad? This is what we were talking about. Like, Unchan was like, why are you fucking with me? Like, crying. Like, that's how I would be.
Yeah.
I can hold a grudge.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And the dudes are just like, let me just, like, roughhouse you and push you around.
Okay.
My mom says, playground punishments physical punishments are common, though less so in schools these days. Ones I have seen firsthand are making the kids duck walk to the cafeteria or kneel with their arms raised above their heads. I think my grandma, my dad's mom, my Harmony, she used to make my dad do that. Like, and that's a very common punishment, is to kneel with your hands above your head.
And they do that on Itaewon also. Yeah.
Team dinner, known as Hueshik. These are common in Korea and are seen as a way to build morale and team spirit. Strangely, most people hate them. They just want to go home after working long hours, not eat and drink with their boss and colleagues. Drinking is expected in Korea. It is considered rude to refuse to drink a shot of soju when offered.
Good thing I like soju.
Yeah. If you can't drink for religious or other reasons, you can do a shot with water or soda. Also, eating is considered a social event. People rarely eat alone, and many restaurants won't serve just one person because almost every meal is served family style. People don't really get food to go or bring their lunch and eat at their desks. They usually take the full hour to eat and then usually take a walk to aid digestion.
Oh my god. That's nice.
I know. I am forever eating at my desk at work.
I just straight up don't eat. I just don't eat, or I sit in my car or something.
Yeah, I really usually only eat a lunch when my boss buys us lunch. Otherwise, I just drink a Slim Fast or, like, sometimes maybe eat, like, a granola bar or something. Or some nuts.
Your boss gets good food for lunch.
Yeah.
I know this.
Yes. He is very generous.
I've been lucky enough to be there on some of those meals.
Yeah. This is just an aside, but I think it's really funny because sometimes, like, the people will want kind of more of, like, a fast food option. And this is like, why do they like that food? It's so greasy. And I'm like, this not everyone can eat. Or I shouldn't say his name. I'll bleep it out. Like, not everyone can eat like you. Like,
5-star restaurants all the time.
Yes. Us poors have to eat food like this sometimes. Obviously I didn't say that to him, but I was just thinking it. Okay, yes. So, also Koreans really believe in the power of nature as a healer. They love to be outside among the trees and plants. Korea spends a ton of money on creating green spaces and parks.
So nice.
Yeah. My mom has, like, a little message for us. Blah, 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 blah. I hope you get a kick out of what... Oh, that was... Okay. My mom says, I hope that is somewhere along the vein of what you were hoping for. She's sending both of us a little care package soon. She says, love you both. Tina, a.k.a. Drama Mama. So, yeah.
That was good. Some really good insight. And I know, last episode, I believe, we talked about, like, South Korea and, like, college and stuff. And, like, how does it work? Like, how is it different from us? And it's so funny because just yesterday, I saw a post from the website Reasons to be Cheerful, which is a website that David Byrne created where people submit stories from around the world of, like, things that are working and things that are good. And it's, like, things that can be implemented anywhere, not just, like, oh, I opened, like, a homeless shelter or something, like, with my own money. Like, just something that can benefit everyone and is easy to implement. And this is all about college and, like, how the U.S. should be doing things slightly different. Not just saying, like, we're going to cut all your student loan debt or whatever, which would be nice. But, like, what else can you do to help people in the long run? And it went into, like, what do other countries do that works? And there was a section for South Korea, and it says, in South Korea, tuition is about 1/3 as high as in the U.S., which is still much higher than a lot of other countries, but some 18% of these costs are covered by private companies and foundations. So I guess, like, those big, the big, like, family-owned...
Like Samsung, the tribals?
Yeah. Like, they pay for a large portion of college. And he says, I'm not sure how one prevents undue influence from corporations on the syllabus, but one hopes that the companies realize that even without influence, an increase in graduates benefits them all. So it's not nearly as high as our college, but still kind of high. But then a large portion gets paid.
Nice.
By outside sources, which is cool. And then there was, like, other countries like New Zealand where it's like, it's for your first year, and then your second year it could be like 6,000 of, like, American dollars. But you don't have to pay that until you graduate and you make a certain income amount.
That's how it is in the UK, apparently. Like, my mom had coworkers in Korea, and they went to school, or they're British, and they were just like, yeah, basically, like, this is just what these two people said, so don't quote me on this. But they were basically like, yeah, a lot of British people don't pay back their student loans because you have to make a certain amount of money in order to qualify to pay them back.
Yeah, I think that said that for them in here too. So, and then even if you do reach that, like, threshold of money, it's still zero interest. So it's not like us where it's just like racking in all this fucking interest and it's just so shitty and you're just in a fucking deep hole.
Forever.
Ugh, miserable. I know.
It is.
So some countries, most countries it seems, are doing things pretty well.
Yeah. Honestly, it seems like New Zealand is the place to be right now.
New Zealand seems to have it together.
They do.
It's a cool country.
I would like to go to Australia and New Zealand.
Totally.
It looks really pretty.
Yeah. I want to hug a koala.
Oh. Capybara. Those big old things.
Uh-huh.
Was it...
so precious.
Did you see Michelle Visage, holding one? I think she put it on YouTube. I think Michelle Visage was, vlogging for a little bit. Did you know that?
Yes.
Okay.
She's been doing quite a bit of different things.
Yeah. This was, years ago. But I think she went... whatever RuPaul's tour is called.
Tour, yeah.
Yeah. They went to Australia, I think, or New Zealand. And they visited, a little animal... not shelter. What are those called?
Like a sanctuary?
Yes, sanctuary. And they, her and some of the queens were, holding these animals. It was really cute.
God.
Yeah. When Moontoki goes on tour,
yes,
our world tour,
yes,
we should very much do that.
Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Already done.
Yes. Well, now that we have our Okay Mama portion, I'm hoping my mom will email me periodically so we can kind of check in with what she thinks. Because, again, this is, I think, maybe her all-time favorite drama.
Cool. And I think everything she said was pretty insightful. Yeah. And, it helps to have a good understanding of the Korean culture and, especially for someone that's never been there like me, to understand, there are milk deliveries and, a ton of food deliveries and this and that or whatever.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah, I think her commentary on the moms being mean was true. And just, talking again about the housing prices, it is just...
outrageous.
So I guess they were doing we'll say, because she had to pay $5,000. But then I guess they're also still paying monthly rent, so yikes. Okay. Well, episode 5. Do you want to start?
Sure.
Okay.
All right, so Hangul wakes up as Unchan is blowing in his face, but the moment is ruined as Harim comes downstairs and teases them about dating and asks what they're up to. Unchan gets flustered and Hangul smiles at the notes Unchan attached to the little milk carton. Hangul then takes Unchan and Harim out for breakfast, and they discuss Harim's living situation since he's been kicked out of his house for not wanting to go into the family business. Harim continues to tease Unchan and Hangul for dating when Hangul gives Unchan some of the meat from his dish. And there she goes, eating all gross.
Yes, but I that is totally a couple thing.
Yes.
Hangul looks so in love with Unchan.
And just giving him bigger pieces of meat and everything.
Yes, that's so obvious. He loves her.
I'd be like, oh, you want more? Too bad. This is mine.
Yeah.
I'm eating this food. Get your own.
You're I am only giving food to Andrew and only sometimes.
Exactly. So yeah, he's feeding her, technically. Thanks him. Unchan tells Harim that Mr. Hong has a free room, and he takes the offer. Then we see that Sun-ki has also come to Mr. Hong's place to find a room. And Mr. Hong's like, yeah, you guys can both stay. I don't care. But then they go inside, and it's a fucking disaster in his place. It
looks abandoned.
Yeah, there's just shit everywhere. There's food sitting in a pot, and they're this looks like it's been here for years. It's stuck to the bottom of the pot, and everything's disgusting. And apparently it smells really bad.
I gagged when he put he took the cup out of the dirty water and just
and telling them to drink. No. Fuck. Why would anyone want your fucking dirty ass water?
How does he not have what is that disease called? Sepsis or whatever. When you have an infection just all over your goddamn body.
Yeah,
or
I don't know.
Tetanus.
And I don't know how he's so fucking dirty but has a coffee shop where, like, you're dealing with drink and food.
Well, that's what they were saying. Wangjia coffee was also disgusting until they turned it around. Do they have
health inspectors?
I don't know.
That's a question for Drama Mama.
Mom?
Are there health inspectors that visit Korean establishments? And if so, what would Mr. Hong's rating be for the coffee shop?
F.
Yeah, seriously. Shut down. Shut it down. Close her up.
Yeah. Okay, so back at the cafe, the team has a staff meeting, and Unchan hears that Minyup has quit / Hangul fired him. Unchan chastises Hangul for not caring about his employees and not asking why Minyup suddenly wanted to quit. So, yeah, I think usually when you give your 2 weeks notice, especially I think at such a tight-knit, close, workplace, like Coffee Prince, one would expect the boss to be like, are you okay? Like, why are you quitting?
What's happening?
Yeah, what's wrong? But Hangul didn't do that. So, Unchan does a little detective work. She finds Minyup working at a food stall. He tells her that he had to take over the stall while his friend is sick and didn't actually want to quit working at Coffee Prince. And it's really sad because I think Minyup says something along the lines of, it was the first job he ever got on his own and he was really proud to work there. Mm-hmm. And Minyup is such a sweet, like, blockhead.
Yes, he's so dumb but so kind.
Yeah. If you're on his good side, he is super loyal. Which
we'll see later on.
Yes. I'm really starting to like him. He's just like a sweet puppy almost. Yeah. So, he didn't want to stop working at Coffee Prince. Unchan decides to help Minyup out and serve customers, which I think Unchan and Minyup are two of the most loyal people ever. Unchan is just a little worker bee.
Totally.
Is doing it all.
And, like, is she even getting paid? Who knows?
Probably not. She's just I don't have anything else to do.
Guess I'll help. Unchan goes to her early morning milk delivery run, and we see Hansung waiting for her with Terry. He wonders why she's late and calls her, saying that he and Terry miss her. Unchan says she'll go over when she's done, and he tells her he'll be waiting. After they hang up, Unchan is overjoyed, singing / yelling, "He'll wait! He'll wait!
He'll wait for me!"
Unchan arrives at his house, and they eat and talk about Unchan's work situation and how hard it must be to pretend to be a boy. Unchan says it's not hard since most people think of her as a boy, but Hansung tells her that she's a pretty girl to him. Hansung then invites her to an art show opening, and at that point I'm like, what? Your girlfriend's art show? Yeah. Unchan initially declines, saying she would embarrass him at a fancy event, but he tells her she's great, so she decides to go.
Yeah, interesting choice.
I know. And to tell another girl that you miss her and you'll be waiting to see her. What? I was watching the show and I was like, what's happening? Like, everybody likes everybody. Everybody's hitting on everyone. I can't.
Yeah, they just need to form a little colony and have sister wives.
Yeah,
brother husbands.
They all love each other. It's so crazy.
It is. Also, we'll get to this later on, but I don't know why Hansung didn't think that Hangul would be there. He knows that him and Yuju are close.
Yeah. I don't know either.
Okay, well, we'll get to that later.
And I don't know why she didn't question it either, because she knows that they're cousins and that he might be in attendance, you know?
Yeah, but she doesn't know that Yuju is the artist.
That's true.
So, she'll find out later. Minyup prepares food for Unse. This is Unchan's sister. He's such a nice boy to Unse.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, again,
she's such an asshole to him.
She is. Again, he's not, like, refined, and he's not, like, smooth, but he really loves her, and anyway. So, he brings her food and waits outside the woman's bathhouse to give it to her. But then he sees Unsei and Unchan walk out together, and he's like, what? He cannot. You see him putting the pieces together.
Yes.
Like, wait, you came out of there. Wait, that's a bathhouse. Wait, what's on your shoulder? Because her bra strap.
The camera's just, like, panning to everything.
Unchan is just like, fuck. And she tells Unsei that it's her job to fix it, but Unsei's like, it's none of my business. Unsei's a little brat. So they end up, like, sitting and eating. Another gross eating moment where Unsei has the chicken feet and the sauce all over her mouth. Yucky. But Unchan begs Minhyup to keep it a secret, and he can't believe it. He's going through all the moments they had together, like peeing in front of her and kissing her, and she tries to play on his heartstrings, saying like, hey, I'm Unsei's big sister. I'm not your rival anymore. Like, we can be friends, and it's important for me to think highly of the person Unsei's dating. So you want me to like you, right? Like, she's totally doing that. And he's like, oh, okay. What a goober. But, again, a sweet goober.
Yes, absolutely. Between all of this, Yuju and Hansung have been a little bit awkward. Because first they go out to dinner with his friends, and the subject of marriage comes up. And he tells everyone that Yuju doesn't want to get married, which takes her by surprise. But I don't know why she's so surprised. He read it in a fucking magazine.
Yeah,
that's a quote. She straight up said she loves her art and work more than romance. It's like, I don't know. She's crazy. Then he overhears people talking about her ex and how they still work together even though they broke up, and basically saying, like, almost like he's her sugar daddy or something. Yeah. Like that he pays for everything for her or something. And so he overhears that, and he just, like, gets all down. He's all upset. Then Yuju comes down with a cold, and Hangul tends to her by making her, like, some soup thing.
Ugh. So...
I know.
Okay. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I got you. He asks why Hansung isn't taking care of her, and she tells him that he hasn't called her in 3 days. So she thinks they might be in the middle of a fight, even though they haven't spoken. Yuju calls Hangul handsome and points out all of his attractive features, but then tells him he should leave since she can take care of herself and wants to lie down. He then calls Hansung and tells him that Yuju is sick and he should take care of her. And I'm like, you know, she could have also called him. Like, I don't know. If I was sick, I'd call Andrew. Even if I was, like, even if he hadn't called me and I didn't know what the deal was. In fact, I probably would have called him or texted him before and been like, hello? Are you ignoring me? Like, what the hell? What did I do?
Yeah. Why are you mad?
Yeah, but she doesn't even, like, question it. She's just like, oh, okay, I guess he's not talking to me.
Yeah, and I think she brings it up later when they reconcile, but their relationship does not seem healthy or like it is stable enough to be a long-term relationship.
No.
At the moment. So, also, I'm just, okay, I kind of just looked over Hangul's behavior, but I'm like, Hangul, like, what are you doing right now? Yeah. And Yuju, why are you letting Hangul do this for you?
Yeah.
What is happening?
It's uncomfortable.
It is uncomfortable. And then she tells him, I never realized how hot you were. What?
Why would you say that?
Like, I don't care if that's the fever talking. You don't...
It's not the fever talking. She's just an asshole. Yeah, I don't want this relationship to continue. She needs to go back to whatever that fucking guy's name is.
DK.
DK, yeah. Go back to DK. God.
Well, then what's Hansung gonna do? Because, okay, sidebar, in this moment in time, do you want Unchan to be with Hangul or Hansung?
That's hard.
That is hard.
I think Hansung is nicer to her, but also kind of shitty. Like, taking her to his girlfriend's art show. Like,
he is.
Like, why? And then there's another scene later that we'll talk about coming up soon where it's like, that's weird of you to do.
But Hangul seems like a good boyfriend to Yuju. So if he knew Unchan was a girl, then maybe he would be that sweet to her also. Yeah.
Maybe it seems like he's probably mean to Unchan now because he has feelings for Unchan and thinks he's a boy.
And is confused.
And he's confused and he doesn't want to be gay because he thinks it's wrong, blah, 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 whatever. Stupid. Yeah. So I think that's why he's especially hard on Unchan for no reason.
Yeah, this is totally superficial, but I also think Hangul is cuter than
totally, absolutely.
Hansung.
Also, Hansung has those ugly glasses your mom mentioned. So those don't help his face.
Okay, so we now know where we stand.
Yeah.
So Hangul shows up at the food stall and sees Unchan helping Minyup, not Hangul, sorry. He asks Minyup if he wants to work at the cafe. Minyup admits that he does, but then they're interrupted by customers. That little food stall is booming right now. Hangul helps Unchan and Minyup, and then he has this very heroic moment where he tries to save Unchan after she runs out into the street chasing after a dog. Again, another sweet pup. With a little birthday hat on.
I know.
They end up falling to the ground as Hangul grabs her, and they're a little, like, beaten up. I think Hangul, like, falls on his shoulder, and Unchan has a scrape on her hand.
I like how after all that happens, you see the dog across the street, and it just, like, lays down, like, did I do that?
Yeah.
Did I cause that mess? Whoops.
Such a cute pup. I love dogs and their guilty faces.
Yes. Oh my god. What did Edie fuck with? Oh, we had ordered Papa John's and we got like a delicious vegan pizza and then we got like the little garlic sauce that comes with it. And I had left to go to my computer real quick to check something and then I came back and I like washed my plate and stuff. And then later on, Andrew was like, look what I found under the sofa. And it was the little container from the garlic sauce that I didn't realize wasn't on my plate anymore. There wasn't anything really left in it, maybe just like the tiniest bit. But she had apparently taken it at some point and was like under the sofa sucking on it. And she left it there. And I was holding it and I was like, Edie, did you eat the garlic sauce? And she looked at me like, and then she just fell on the floor and just like rolled over. Big
she's like
sad eyes.
She's like, just take me.
Yes, exactly.
Oh god, Edie is such a sweet dog.
She's so expressive and funny.
Edie's a little bit like Unchan.
Totally, yes. Oh my god. She's hilarious.
Yeah. She's a little spaz.
Totally. Alright, so Hansung goes to Yuju and they talk it out. Everything seems fine again. He admits that it's hard for him to realize she loves work more than him. And she doesn't deny it. She confirms that she wants to remain single, but she felt bad hearing him say that to other people, that she wouldn't want to get married or whatever. He decides to sleep over and they're back on track. Everything is fine. They're so weird.
They are. I mean, I guess I kind of understand, like, if they hadn't had that conversation before, which it seemed like they were in a long-term relationship before she dumped him. So you would think that they would have maybe talked about, like, what do we want our life plan to be like? Like, whatever.
Unless he just, like, expected, again, like, marriage and kids, that's what happens. And she's like, no. Which I totally understand, and I'm cool with, you know, you don't need to get married in order to, like, solidify a relationship, and you definitely don't need to have kids to do that either.
Right.
But I think there does need to be an amount of faithfulness.
Yes.
Unless y'all have both discussed the idea of kind of like going outside of your relationship and both parties are cool with it. But I don't know which party would be cool with you doing that to a cousin. So I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's fucked up.
It is. Yeah. And I think any relationship is fine as long as both parties are consenting to the terms.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
But they don't talk.
Absolutely.
It seems like all they do is like
weird foreplay.
Yeah, weird foreplay.
Finger foreplay. They get into little fights.
Yeah.
And then they're back together.
He cooks for her.
Yeah. He changes a light bulb.
Uh-huh. So, yeah. Weird stuff. Oh, but what I was going to say is that I feel like maybe she wanted to be the one to tell people. Like, you... Like... How should I say this? She didn't get the chance to speak for herself, maybe. Like, he was just like, oh, she doesn't want to get married.
Yeah, end of conversation.
Yeah. So, anyway. Hansung goes... No, we just talked about that. Hangul freaks out seeing Unchan's injured wrist hand area and takes Unchan to a hospital place where they get it treated, but he also gets acupuncture. So I was wondering if it was, like, an Eastern medicine
hospital. It seems
hospital.
like it, yeah. Because there was also just, like, a bright, like, reddish, I think, light that was on Unchan, like, sort of like a light therapy or something.
Yeah. So they're just kind of laying there, getting treated. And she tells him about a memory from her childhood where her dad caught her after she fell from a third-story balcony, and then he rushed her to the hospital, even though he had a broken arm. She said Hangul reminded her of that, and she thinks he's cool. Cool. Hangul asks why she steps in to help people, and Unchan says she feels a sense of loyalty and humanity, but Hangul thinks he doesn't possess that. Unchan says he does, since he went to visit Minhyup and ran out to protect her. And then I think she says something like, "It's not like you love me." And we're like, but he does. Girl.
You know.
He does love you.
Then we have the sweet coffee princes going on a retreat because business is slow and the water got cut off in the building. So Mr. Hong arranges this meeting. But it turns out that Mr. Hong has told his friend, an owner of an apple orchard, that he and the guys would help him harvest. So technically it's not really a vacation. I do want to say how great, I can't think of his name right now, the waffle guy.
Sung Ki,
how great Sung Ki looks with his black hat and black shirt. He's like an all black.
Yeah,
and his nail polish. Like
I said that later.
He looks fucking stunning. Totally
I said he looked a little femme with his like super deep V.
Yes, but I love it. I love an androgynous human.
Yes.
So they arrive and the guys start slacking off until Hangul accidentally sells a bunch of like premium apples from the apple stand, but they were actually for an upcoming delivery. So not only did he sell these premium apples that were supposed to be delivered to someone else, he also sold them at like the cheaper price because he didn't know they were premium apples. So it's like a big deal, and it was like 20 boxes. So they all kind of step up to harvest the apples and fix the mistake or whatever. And we have like an apple picking montage. And then Hangul catches Unchan as she falls off a ladder. And it's all like slow motion and romantic.
It is. But I was like, okay, I don't want to get into too much anatomy.
Again,
like,
right?
His hand was like super close to her boob, like.
Yeah. And there are moments where you can totally see like chest. Like even when she's just like walking and talking and moving, like you see an obvious area where there's like very small boobs.
Yeah. And it's not that men can't have boobs.
But she's so skinny.
Exactly. Like,
if she was a boy, like, she would be, like, a fucking board, you know? Like,
yeah.
She has nothing.
She would be, like, Hadim. Like, he's also a tiny boy.
Yes,
but he looks like a boy.
Yes. I don't know. I don't know what Hangul is thinking. Again, like Hansung says, I don't know how he doesn't know you're not a boy.
Yeah.
I don't know how he can't tell, but whatever.
Totally.
After the hard day's work, the guys go to the river to cool off. They play around in the water. Minhyuk becomes very protective of Woon-chan because he knows that she's a girl. Mm-hmm. And he stops the guys from peeing in front of her. Then the guys sit around and they drink and sing. And Mr. Hong tells a story of kids who hung themselves. And then he's just like, well, I'm going to sleep.
Yeah.
He says something like, this is where the boys hung themselves.
Yeah.
Okay, good night. And no one, questioned it.
They were just like, ugh.
Yeah, what? What are you talking about? What happened? Woon-chan and Harim stick around, and Woon-chan asks him about the girl that Hongil likes. He tells her that he doesn't want to spill the tea, but he's also been in love with her for 9 years, and that's all he'll say.
Mm-hmm. I really like Harim.
Yeah, he's funny.
Yeah. I also like that he calls Woon-chan My-chan.
My-chan.
And it gets on her nerves, but I think it's a cute nickname.
Yeah.
So, later that night, I just called her Un. Later that night, Un-chan escapes the noisy and stinky boys, because they're all, snoring, and I wouldn't want to sleep in a room full of stinky boys who are snoring. So she goes and takes a bath, and I was very worried that someone was going to walk in on her.
Same.
But they don't.
1,000%. Yeah, they don't.
She runs into Hongil after her bath, who is trying to poop.
Why, though? Why?
Yeah.
Is this a scene?
Uh-huh. But they end up lying down outside and looking at the stars together.
Couldn't he have just already been laying on the table?
Yeah.
Instead of this awkward pooping moment?
I am wondering if we are just stacking up these awkward scenes so that when he does realize she's a girl, he'll flash back to all of these moments that...
And be so embarrassed.
Yeah, are just going to be horrifying to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's another why, though. So they're laying down, they're looking at the stars together, and then Hongil gives her a little Lego robot that he's named after her, and he asks what her dream is. She says it's to live well with her mother and sister, but it's not really specific. Mm-hmm. As of right now, she just wants to make coffee well. He says his dream is to basically do what he wants and live happily. And I'm like, duh, that's everybody's dream.
Yeah, should be.
Yeah.
Woon-chan asks about his, quote, habit, a.k.a. Yuju, mm-hmm. and says that he didn't seem happy when he was with her. She asks why he likes her, and he tells her that there might be a million reasons, but then says there actually aren't that many reasons. He just likes her, even though he tries not to. So at this point, there's nothing he can really do about it. Mm-hmm. And Woon-chan says the thought of not being able to do anything is scary, and Hongil drifts off to sleep. Mm-hmm. On the car ride back home, Woon-chan is impressed by Hongil paying the farmers extra for the apples. And she's saying, you actually smell human right now. You're being, a good person. Uh-huh. And fucking Minhyuk is like, I'm gonna squeeze in between y'all. And he's, real stinky and just, sweaty and gross. Uh-huh. But he, totally breaks up this nice moment.
Yeah, and he's like, aren't you proud of me?
And she's just like, you stink.
Get off.
Yeah, he's so gross, but so funny. Uh-huh. Han-sung calls Woon-chan to remind her of their little date, and he tells her to just dress normally. Her mom and Woon-se try to dress her and do her hair and makeup, but she looks awful. The dress looks kind of cute on her, and it fits her really well. Uh-huh. But, the hair and makeup are just...
It's so bad.
It's so bad. It's so much makeup. It's so cringy. Her hair's, sticking up everywhere. It's not cute.
I don't know why Woon-se didn't just do... Un-chan's makeup how she does her own makeup.
Because Woon-se looks normal. Kind of an asshole.
That's true.
She doesn't seem to really care about anyone except herself, honestly. And she's always, I don't know, she's always kind of bitchy. Mm-hmm. So I feel like she was overdoing it because she thinks that Un-chan is so boyish. Yeah, that she needed to overdo the makeup when that's not true at all. Yeah. She just needed to do, a nice, clean, hairstyle.
Yeah. Just maybe a little barrette.
A soft makeup. Yeah, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
So, Han-sung is amazed when she comes down the stairs. Oh, sorry, wrong part. Hansung is nice when he sees her, and she's, like, embarrassed and nervous. But then he takes her to a salon for a proper makeover, and then we get another makeover montage, and part of me was like, how did we get to that point? Like, what did he say? Was he like, you look great, let's fix you up, though?
Yeah. Oh, I was wondering if he already had this planned from the beginning.
Maybe. Because
he told her to just dress how she normally does. And then he was going to be like, surprise, I'm taking you to a beauty place.
It just feels like, I don't know, because he said she was pretty. But then you're taking her to a place to, like, put a fucking wig on her. Like, I don't know. It was just, like, weird.
It was weird. I feel like that was kind of mean.
Yeah, same. And I feel like he knows that she's very tomboyish in her style of clothing. And when she said, like, how she didn't know how to dress or, like, look pretty and feminine, he could have said, like, it's okay, like, I'll take you somewhere to get a dress or whatever. So she would already know and be expecting that sort of thing, you know, and be prepared for, like, a sort of pampering day. Instead of, like, freaking out, getting help from her mom and sister, looking like a freak and embarrassed, and then kind of, I guess, essentially being told by this guy that you like, I'm going to take you somewhere to look even better. Yeah. Because you still don't look presentable. I don't know.
Yeah. It's not great.
No. She did look very cute, though, in the dress that he got her.
And her wig.
And her makeup looked so much better.
It did.
And her long hair looked great. But I think she looked good with the short hair, too, if it was just, like, styled properly.
Yeah, and I think even Unchan just, like, when she combs it to the side, and she just kind of, like, tucks it behind her ears, it's very, like, elegant.
Yeah, totally.
I also had a haircut like that a few years ago. So
I've had many a haircut like that.
Yeah, the short.
And I love it, and then after a while, I'm like, oh... I don't know what to do with it. It's in this awkward phase.
Yes.
Miserable.
The awkward, like, almost mullet phase is hard to...
So he's amazed when she comes down the stairs with her long hair. And she trips on a step and stumbles, and he catches her. And that's the end of the episode. So she's getting caught by all the boys.
Yeah. She just be falling all over the place. Being caught by her dad, Hansung, Hangul.
Everyone.
Yeah. Well, let's go to episode 6.
Yes, please.
Unchan and Hansung go to the opening, and Unchan admires the art, but then freaks when she realizes that Yuju is the artist. She runs off, hoping that Yuju won't recognize her, but then overhears people gossiping in the bathroom and realizes Yuju is Hansung's girlfriend from his story. Like, she's Miss B, or whatever. And I think she is like, oh man, she was supposed to be ugly. Like, she didn't want Hansung to actually be with her because she likes Hansung. But, and we'll get to this a little bit later, but fuck, to realize, like, both of the guys you have crushes on are in love with the same person who's, like, beautiful and was also super nice to you.
And talented.
And talented. Wow. That sucks. So, after leaving the bathroom, Unchan sees that Hangul has arrived, which makes her panic even more. And she's, like, trying to tiptoe around and, like, hide behind corners and stuff. Again, looking like a freaking spaz. I just want to tell Unchan, like, just breathe and stand like a normal person. Just stand still.
When she went to the restroom, she just, like, poured water, like, all over herself. Like, all over her chest and her face and her arms. It's like, what are you doing? Why are you getting soaked right now?
I thought her line of, what am I putting my boobs through? One day they're an envelope and the next day they're Mount Everest. Was so funny.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So, she's panicking. Hansung sees her and tries to introduce Unchan to everyone since he thinks Unchan meeting everyone is inevitable at this point. But I'm also very much like, it's not. She could have left after the bathroom and he could have told Yuju, oh, I think she got sick and she had to leave early. But she really liked your artwork. And that's all there had to be. Like, why? Hansung 1000% made it worse.
Yes, totally.
Also, if I saw someone dragging a woman like that, I would be like, what's happening?
Wrong? What's going on?
Is she okay? So, Hangul doesn't even pay attention to Unchan because he's obsessed with Yuju, and also he's obsessed with boy Unchan. So, he doesn't have eyes on any other woman. And Unchan hides behind Hansung, so Yuju can't really get a good look at her. But the thing with Yuju is, like, she is a really nice person, it seems. She's just not a good girlfriend.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because she's like, well, I want to meet your friend. Like, why are you being weird? Yeah, so it's a mess at this point.
Totally. Unchan decides to leave early since she's super uncomfortable. Hansung walks her out and he apologizes for putting her in that situation. She cries as she rides home. She's like riding the bus home in trash sandals. Like, she literally found them
in the
side of the road. Yep. And it's all fucked up. She's like standing waiting for a bus, and this bitch next to her looks at her and is like judging her because of her trash sandals. And I'm like, you see the heels in her hand.
Yeah.
She's just tired of wearing them, you fuck. Leave her alone. She's very upset on the bus. She's holding back tears, crying to herself. And she thinks about how both Hangul and Hansung like Yuju and not her. And when she gets home, her mom and sister help her take off her makeup. And she tells him that she's going to try to forget Hansung and focus on work. And her sister's like, why do you like all these old men? Why do you keep trying to get with old men? Like, are you over them now?
They're not that old, though.
They're not. But her sister is just like, these old men that you like? Get over it.
Yeah. Her mom and sister, I'm like, God, you need to be more supportive of Unchan. She's trying her best, okay?
And she's the one bringing home all the fucking money.
Yeah, seriously.
Be supportive. Hangul is also depressed after the opening. He's all mopey in his fancy house, all upset because Yuju was with Hansung, yada yada, blah blah blah. He then invites Unchan over, and they have a pizza picnic, and again, another gross eating scene. She like stacks fucking 7 pizza slices on top of each other. Jesus Christ. I'm
like, you're not even enjoying it at that point.
I know. You're just like shoveling it into your mouth. She asks him if it's harder to give up on a crush or to keep it, knowing it'll never work out. And he replies both. Then they start to play a coffee bean smelling game. This is all her nose is being used for at this point. After Unchan wins the game, Hangul shows her his Lego room and tells her how he used to work with them in the States. He tells her that he loves playing in the room since he can do whatever he wants, and she tells him he can do whatever he wants outside too. I also have to say, since we're on the subject of Legos, yesterday I saw that there's going to be a Schitt's Creek Lego set.
Are you serious?
Yes, yes. And it's of the motel.
Oh my God.
And it has like all the main characters. And so you see the front of the motel. But then if you look at the back, it has the individual rooms.
Oh, that's so
it's
cool.
It's so cute. I want it. I don't know like when it's supposed to be released, but it looks fucking adorable. And I really, really want it.
I need to see the final season of Schitt's Creek.
I know. I still do also. I'm waiting for it to hit Netflix, and then I think I'm going to rewatch the entire series.
Yeah.
Because it's so good.
That's what I did when season 4 dropped. And I've been so tempted to just buy it on Amazon, but I'm like, it's going to come to Netflix. I know it is.
It's supposed to come very soon.
Okay.
I think this month, if I'm not mistaken.
Good.
Also, Dan Levy was on an episode of Hot Ones where you eat the hot wings. It was a virtual one, and it's a fun interview.
Cool.
He's so sweet.
Yeah.
All right.
A good cast.
I know. So they're playing with the Legos, but then they get into another little fussy fight, and Unchan brings up how sad it is that Hangul has a crush on Yuju. He agrees he's dumb for continuing to like someone who is unavailable, and he decides it's time for him to get over her, and Unchan agrees, saying they should just wish their crushes well and move on. Hangul questions her when she says our crushes, but tells him not to ask her about her personal life.
She's like, don't talk to me. Hangul starts talking about how in order to get over a crush, you need the other person's cooperation, and how Yuju has done a good job with not leading him on. And I was like, what? Jill saw me, but I was like flapping my arms
waving
around.
those arms around.
Like, what are you talking about? She literally just told you how hot you were and like rubbed her hands all over your fucking face.
Yeah, no. Mm-mm.
And like, okay, if I knew a boy had a crush on me and I was like with Alex, I would tell him like, please don't come to my apartment. Like,
yeah.
Like, no, like, if it's a work thing, like, we should strictly be professional. Mm-hmm. If it's a friend thing, like, I should only see you with Alex. Mm-hmm. Like, that's how you shut it down.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm good at shutting people down.
I like how you do the X.
Yeah, shut it down. So I don't know what he's thinking when he says she's doing a good job. I mean, I guess to be fair, like, they didn't fuck because she told him, like, go home. Mm-hmm. But okay. But
didn't she also, like, for his birthday, she asked him if he wanted to come up?
Yeah, but then he's like, I might hold your hand.
And he was like, the one. Yeah, he was the one that said, like, I can't go up or something. I don't know. They're fucking weird.
They are. And I get, like, I feel like they're trying to make her be a free spirit or whatever. Mm-hmm. Which is fine. And again, like, she seems like a cool person. It's just, why are you trying to make her someone's girlfriend? Mm-hmm. That's the issue.
Yeah, why is she flirting with everyone?
Yes. She's a flirt. And also, I don't know. It's just a lot.
It is. Absolutely.
So, he tells Unchan that he didn't want to be alone tonight and wonders why whenever he feels down, he misses her, meaning him, Unchan. Mm-hmm. Boy Unchan. But Unchan has already fallen asleep, and Hangul does that K-drama thing where he, like, caresses her face. Mm-hmm. But then he realizes what he's doing and freaks out, and he's like, the fuck? And then he, like, starts pacing around the room. And then he gently kicks Unchan and tells her to wake up and tells her that she should sleep at her own house. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it would take a lot of thought for me to be like, I'm gonna touch this person's face.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, you have to, like, make that decision.
Yeah.
So Yuju and Hansung are hanging out at his place, and then they start talking about Unchan, the girl, and Yuju's ex, DK. And Yuju tells Hansung that she feels selfish because in nice moments, she thinks that she could be married, but then she realizes that there's more to it and thinks it's better to stay how she is now. That's fine. Just don't flirt with his cousin.
Yeah.
Hansung teases her to pay for her part of the food, and they kiss. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm cool with paying for half of the meal.
Yeah.
Andrew and I do that often.
Yeah, same.
Or, like, I pay for one meal, Andrew pays for the next.
Yeah, that's really more what Alex and I do. Is you get this one, I get this one. You get this one, I get this one.
It all evens out somehow.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Back at the cafe, Hangul keeps teasing and flirting with Unchan. Minyup notices and steps in to take over all the manual labor. Minyup and Mr. Hong notice what's going on, and Harim notices too, but he's confused. So they're all kind of noticing this little chemistry big chemistry between Hangul and Unchan at this point.
But
and Mr. Hong is just kind of smiling, like,
Yeah, and Minyup and Mr. Hong are the only two people that know Unchan is a girl.
Correct.
And they're like, it kind of makes sense. But Minyup is stupid, so he thinks that Hangul is just picking on her.
Yes, just being mean. Yeah. Mm-hmm. One day after work, Hansung drops by and tells Unchan that he's worried she's been avoiding him. She makes an excuse saying that she's had to deliver the milk earlier in the day due to working at the cafe early, and then tells him she'll likely be quitting her delivery job soon. She says she'll miss his dog a lot, and then he asks if she'll miss him, and he tells her she can call anytime she wants to see him, and she wonders how Yuju will feel about that. Hansung apologizes again for how things went down at the art show, and Unchan says she's okay and admits she really liked him, but she didn't realize how much till that moment. And she gets, like, teary-eyed again. Mm-hmm. And she tells him she's fine now and that she likes Yuju, so she's giving up, and she hopes that he and Yuju will be happy.
I feel like she handled herself well.
Yeah.
It sucks, but also I'm like, Hansung, like, what the fuck? Like, him and Yuju should not be together. No. Is the shortened version of this. Not. Like,
they already have so much baggage.
They do.
And, like, he definitely has trust issues, even if he doesn't want to admit it. She doesn't have trust issues, it seems, but he absolutely does. Yeah. And that doesn't help the relationship.
No. Not at all. They definitely need to go to couples counseling if they want to stay together.
And it doesn't seem that he realizes Hangul likes Yuju.
Yeah.
Like, he seems oblivious to that fact when it's so fucking obvious, like how he was all upset when he went over and Hansung was there.
Yeah. But then also it's like, but Hangul is always, or was the one pushing Yuju towards him again.
It's so fucking confusing.
It is. I'm like,
what do you people want?
What is happening?
What do you want? Who do you want to be with? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, Unchan walks back into the cafe all teary-eyed, and Hangul notices and wonders what's wrong. Mr. Hong tells Hangul to just admit that he likes Unchan instead of picking on her, which makes Hangul all upset. Because
I'm not picking on her.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. So, later on, business is crazy at the cafe after Unsei's promotional video that she made goes viral. I love how they're talking about, like, this newfangled thing called YouTube.
Yes.
That YouTube is crazy. So this video that she made is of the dudes looking cute with descriptions set to Mika's Lollipop, which...
Good so song. Good. Great song. Andrew sat down. This is his first time watching Coffee Prince. He sat down these last, 15, 20 minutes. So he started right here and was like, oh, Mika. Cool. And then he watched the, rest of the episode with me. And I was like, so-and-so likes this person likes this person, they like this person, this person, this person. And he just, looked at me. He's like, how are you keeping track of all that? I was like, I don't know.
It's hard. Yeah, it's great. So the description that made me laugh was Sungki's, "You're too hot to make waffles."
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so they're just girls and women all over that cafe trying to see these hot guys. Which I was thinking, wasn't that the point of hiring all men to begin with? Why were they not trying to play that fact up more? But anyway, the princes are exhausted after a long day, and Hangul seems kind of I guess, bummed or upset, but Sunki's or not Sunki, Harim is what's troubling you, dude? Business was good. He says something has been bothering him lately, but he won't say what. But he also can't keep his eyes off of Unchan. And then, at home, he looks at her picture. He decides to go to a therapist since he can't ignore his attraction to Unchan, which is very confusing to him.
Very confusing.
Yeah, I feel like Unchan owes it to him to tell him that that she's a girl.
I know.
Because it's not really fair to make someone question their sexuality. I mean,
but also I guess she doesn't think he likes her.
This is true.
She thinks that he's just being mean and he is in love with Yuju, and that's it.
This is true. And I guess on the flip side, you could also say in the 2020 lens, you should just be whatever, sexuality is fluid, and if you like someone, you like someone.
I like you because I like you.
Yeah, but it's very confusing for 2007 Hangul.
Yeah, totally. Unchan rides her scooter to work and gets hit by a car in front of the cafe. Good grief.
That's why Alex didn't want me to get a scooter.
That's right. I forgot about that. He was adamant that you were not getting a scooter.
Yeah.
And Andrew wanted one too, and Alex told Andrew, you're not getting a scooter. You don't want anyone getting a scooter.
The two people Alex loves most in the world, me and Andrew.
Y'all both wanted scooters. A big fat no from Alex.
Nope.
You're not getting it. Hangul sees what happened and he runs down, but he ends up getting mad at Unchan, which confuses her. And Harim tries to comfort her, saying it's because he's worried about her. Later on, Hansung calls Unchan and ends up putting Yuju on hold to keep talking to Unchan. Oh my goodness. Then we have
that's a telltale sign, I feel like, of you like someone more.
Yes, than your current person.
Because you put them on hold.
Yes. And you know she's a girl. Then we have mini side stories, which is Unchan's mom is dating. She's dating... I forgot who this guy is.
He's the butcher.
Does. The butcher, okay. They go to a movie together, and Andrew was like, I want his shirt. His shirt that was like the comic strip.
Yeah.
Sun-Ki is trying to find his ex-girlfriend, apparently. Harim is getting fed up living with Mr. Hong because it's a shit show, like disgusting as hell. Hangul's grandmother's cancer is getting worse, and she's like throwing up and stuff. So we have a lot of like mini things happening throughout this episode.
I'm assuming those will come into play later on, but
totally, yeah. We then have Minyap and Unchan having dinner, and Minyap tells Unchan that Hangul is always staring at her, and he calls her sis on accident, and tells her that he thinks Hangul is only watching her to make sure she's working, because he's so fucking clueless.
He's a stupid boy. Also, those aren't the eyes of, I'm watching you.
No.
They're like totally lovey eyes.
Dreamy. Very dreamy eyes.
Oh, yeah. Unchan keeps getting frustrated because Hangul's mood around her is so volatile. Because, like, one day he's all smiley and, like, fluffing her hair. And then he's yelling at her, like, what the fuck are you doing?
Hit by a car.
Yes. So mean. And that was, like, another moment where, like, again, not to gender stereotype, blah, blah, blah. But, like... if Hangul knew that Unchan was a girl that got hit by a car, I feel like he would definitely not yell at her, because that's the last thing you need when you've been hit by a car, someone yelling at you, when it wasn't your fault.
I know.
Anyway, so Hangul meets Yuju for a movie and says she's in a mood, like, she's moody, and is happy to be with a friend instead of a boyfriend. I guess that's another instance of her shutting it down. But I would have gone so far as to not even gone to a movie with him alone.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
go with a different friend.
Yeah.
That isn't attracted to you.
Exactly.
Because you know he's attracted to you.
Right. Hangul asks if he can hug her. So she hugs him in the elevator. And he breathes a sigh of relief, confirming that he's still attracted to women. But while they're watching Shrek... he keeps thinking of Unchan.
Andrew thought this was so funny that they were watching Shrek.
According to Drama Beans, it was Shrek the Third. So,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Andrew was asking, like, is this a bootleg movie? It's like, no, I think it's just, like, a bad screen because this camera work is bad. Like, old camera, so it looks like old Shrek somehow.
Yeah.
It looks like Shrek filmed with, like, a camcorder because the whole show looks like that.
Totally. Yeah, they get American movies for realsies in Korea. I watched Avengers Endgame? The last Avengers in Korea.
Yes.
So, that was fun.
How was the movie theater there?
It was nice. I mean...
Was it similar to ours, or was it, like, totally different?
It was similar. I think you had the assigned seating. But overall, it was just, like, a regular movie theater. The seats in the front row, I think only in the front row, kind of similar to Draft House, those leaned back, but they had, like, little ottomans.
Ah, cool.
Yeah. And if anything, the movie snacks were more different. So, like, they had more sweet popcorn varieties. And then they had, like, the dried squid and other more, like, Korean snacks, I guess.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, Shrek. He keeps thinking of Unchan, so he's still confused. Unchan and Hansung go to a park and hang out and play with Terry. He asks her about work, and she tells him that Hangyul is mean and picks on her a lot. Hansung wonders if Hangyul likes her, but Unchan says no because he likes another girl. And, oh my god, if I was Unchan, it would be very hard for me to keep that a secret. Like, he likes your girlfriend.
Did you know this?
But I am very bad at keeping secrets, so.
I also told Andrew when we were watching, when he said, like, hang out, play with Terry or whatever, I was like, oh yeah, the dog's name is Terry. And he's like, what's its name? I was like, the dog's name is Terry. He's like, that name is too damn human. Dog can't have that name.
I don't think Terry is... It's not like Justin. I feel like...
Justin would be a really weird dog name.
I feel like... I don't know why Terry doesn't scream, like, human to me.
That's funny. Yeah, for Andrew, he was like, no, that's weird.
But maybe it's because it's an English name that it's like...
Yeah.
I watched this BTS video where they went to a dog park thing and they were, like, learning how to train dogs to, like, run an obstacle course and stuff. And one of the dogs' names was Adam.
So funny.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway. Terry. So. Hansung likes the other girl. Okay, so Hansung then asks Unchan what she thinks of Hangyul. And she says she only thinks of him as a boss. And she is in love with a different handsome man. These people... Also, I think it's kind of cute that Hangyul or Hansung wants Unchan and Hangyul to be together. I think that's what he thinks right now.
Yeah.
But we'll see how he really feels later on.
In a couple of episodes. So, they go back to Hansung's place for coffee, and he lets Unchan shower since they got all sweaty at the park. But then, Yuju shows up for a surprise visit and breakfast. Then, Hansung is like, oh shit, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
And she, like, shows the little bag of breakfast, and as she's wanting to come inside, Unchan pops her little head out with just a towel, asking for clothes, and everyone is obviously shocked and freaked out. Then, Yuju and Unchan talk while Hansung tries to find her clothes, and Yuju says she should have realized that Unchan was a girl when she talked about liking her male teacher. Unchan apologizes for lying and tells her she has good reasons for lying, and she asks Yuju to please keep it a secret from Hangyul so she won't get fired. Yuju tells her that Hangyul isn't that heartless, but Unchan promises to tell him later. Yuju asks her if it was hard for her to pass as a guy, but Unchan's like, no, I didn't really have to try hard.
Everyone thinks I'm a boy.
And at first she didn't mean for him to think of her as a boy, but then when she got the job, she tried to act the part. And she asks Yuju if she can call her Uni now, which, as you said, means like sister or whatever. And she says yes, but still looks a little suspicious of her.
Yeah. I think Yuju is trying to be very cool with the situation, but I think it's actually making her uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Which I would feel uncomfortable too.
Totally. It's unusual.
Yeah, and then also, I wonder if she feels conflicted because she's obviously close to Hangyul. So I wonder if she, like, feels a little sense of obligation, like, I kind of feel like he should know that one of the employees he thinks is a man is a woman. But,
yeah.
So many secrets. Oh, I said, by the way, Unchan looks super girly in the shirt that Yuju lent her. Like, when she's riding her bike away, I'm like, that's totally a woman.
That's a girl.
Yeah. As Unchan leaves, Yuju teases Hansung for liking Unchan, which makes him feel a little awkward, which makes him which makes her tease him even more. Back at the cafe, Hangyul continues to make eyes at Unchan while teasing her by giving her more and more tasks. After a while, Unchan can't take it anymore and shouts at Hangyul, asking why he's like this to her. And I think she says something along the lines of, if you have a problem with me, just tell me what the issue is so we can get over it. Unchan blows her bangs out of her face, which I think is kind of a turn on for Hangyul, so he tells her to stop. Yeah. And she just does it even more to keep annoying him, and then Minyup and Harim join in too.
I thought that was really funny.
Yeah. Hangyul becomes exasperated and drags Unchan upstairs. A lot of dragging of Unchan in these episodes. Don't drag people, okay? He stares at her, which makes Unchan worry that he's discovered her secret. She tries to run away, but he holds on to her and asks if they can hug once. Unchan is startled, and he tries to explain that he, meaning Hangyul, tries to explain that he's going crazy and can't think straight, but if they hug, he might be able to figure things out. And he's like, we used to do this all the time when we were, trying to break up the dates. Like, it's fine. Like, we just need a hug. But Unchan is like, fuck. Like, I would be so stressed out. I was so stressed out watching this. I was, like, stressed, but also like, yeah, do it. A lot of feelings going on. So, Unchan doesn't know what to do, and Hangyul pulls her in for a hug, but he seems to be even more confused. And then he tears up because he's like, fuck, am I gay or bi or what's happening? Then Unchan closes her eyes and hugs him back, and the subtitles on the screen say, he shouldn't have hugged me because now I want to tell him I'm a girl.
Oy.
End of episode. So good. I really want to see the next ones now.
Yeah, the discovery of her being a girl by Minyup happened so quickly. Like, I was expecting it maybe, like, episode 8. And then, like, the rest of the time him having to hide it. But it's happened so early, I'm like, oh, shit. Like, when is everyone going to find out?
I feel like it's only a matter of time because, yeah, Minyup was like Nuna when she's like, what are you fucking doing? Like, and then he calls her young, like,
I feel like in the next 2 episodes, it's going to come to light to the other 2 boys.
Yeah.
Sunki and Harim.
Yeah. I feel like Harim is going to freak out because he's, like, so in love with Unchan also.
Yeah. Do I have a chance now?
Yeah. Which they would look really cute together. Also,
I like him. He's funny.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like a bad guy. So, my mom sent her Okay Mama stuff.
All right.
So I'll read that real quick.
Okay.
Episode 5. Eating corn by picking off kernel by kernel. Lots of people eat corn this way. Which is how they ate the corn while they were, like, sitting around and drinking at the orchard. Korean corn is a different variety than American sweet corn. The kernels are more dense, so eating this way is easy, and the hulls don't get caught in your teeth this way. Okay. Good to know.
Interesting.
My mom says, why did the sister and mother send her out looking so terrible? The makeup was hideous. Yes.
She's not wrong.
Agreed, Mom. Finally, music producer made a comment to his girlfriend about her being fine on her own. It is a common struggle for independent women. Men like to feel needed, but independent women don't actually need them. It is good to remember to let the man you care about help you. It shows that you recognize his efforts on your behalf. I guess that's some relationship advice from my mom. So, yeah, I think I'm kind of, I'm like that in certain respects, but I'm also like, Alex, do this for me. And he's like, you can do it.
I'm the same
way. Yeah, because you want to be independent on your own terms.
And sometimes it's nice to be a little baby.
Episode 6. Movies. They open early. You can see a movie at 8 or 9 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Most have a limited snack bar. You can bring your own food, no problem.
Wow, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to sneak it in.
Yeah. She said, the mom had several papers in her hand. There are stands with many posters and advertisements for currently showing and upcoming releases you can take for free. My mom says the trash shoes, gross and unnecessary. Well, they were necessary for Unchan.
Mm-hmm.
I think walking in trash shoes is better than walking barefoot.
Yeah, and you're just going to throw them away anyway, so.
Yeah.
They didn't look, like, totally disgusting.
Yeah, if they weren't slimy or bloody or...
gross.
Something on them. God. If they were just dirty, I think that's okay. Okay. Crying on the bus scene broke my heart and made me cry. My mom is a bigger crier than I am, so. She always tried to seem tough, but her vulnerability really showed there. Also, why is Unchan always layering 2 shirts? Probably to hide her boobs.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially because she is typically needing to wear a white shirt at work. Mm-hmm. So then wearing an undershirt underneath helps, I would think.
Yeah. Also, this was another thing. I guess we can, like, kind of kick it to fashion real quick. Unchan is totally wearing women's tank tops under her...
Yes.
under her coffee prints, like, tuxedo uniform, which are visible.
These guys are blind.
Why not another red flag? I mean, I don't know if maybe men don't realize, like, that's a woman's tank top. But
I don't know, man.
It's not like a men's, like, tank top undershirt. Like, it's a spaghetti strap.
Yeah.
What is happening?
They just are oblivious. I don't know.
Yeah. Also, Mom, I think wearing 2 shirts at the same time was very 2000s.
Yes. Like the double-collared.
The double-collared, or even just wearing 2 t-shirts or 2 tank tops on top of each other. Like, I am pretty sure I did that. Where you have, like, a longer one that kind of hangs out the bottom.
Oh, uh-huh.
Yeah.
That was a thing.
It was a thing. We're remembering all of these mid-2000s fashion choices.
Bad fashions.
Yeah. So yeah. Do you have any fashion or predictions?
I just loved Sunki.
Yeah, I love Sunki.
He looked great.
He is the guy from My Private Life, which I think I talked about last episode. He's, like, really handsome and cool in that show, and he's very handsome in this show, too. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. He's a handsome guy.
He's very, like, quiet and mysterious as well.
Mm-hmm. And apparently Japanese in the show?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't have any predictions. I honestly have no idea, like, where it's gonna go. I mean, I have an idea of, like, the full premise of, you know, she's gonna get revealed at some point.
Right.
By everyone. And Hangul's probably gonna realize he is, in fact, in love with her. Mm-hmm. But I honestly don't know. I can't predict right now.
Yeah. Okay, I'm trying to, like, make a prediction for episode... What are we? 7, I guess? Mm-hmm. Like, what's gonna happen right after they hug? Mm-hmm. I feel like Hangul is going to freak out. Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering if he might, like, take a leave of absence or something. To try to, maybe, like, figure some stuff out.
Yeah, maybe try to stay away from her.
Yeah.
Or ignore her.
I feel like him taking a leave of absence and, like, figuring some stuff out might be a good opportunity for then everyone in the cafe to realize that Unchan is a girl without him, like, overhearing anything.
Yeah.
So that when he gets back, he can still be oblivious, but everybody else can, like, know what's actually going on.
Yeah. That's a good prediction.
We'll see what happens. I don't know what the fuck is going on with Yuju and Hansung, like...
I don't think they're going to end up together in the end. That's my prediction. Like, I don't know if Hansung's going to end up with Unchan. I kind of don't see that.
No,
but I also don't think... Yeah, I also don't think he's going to be with Yuju. Yuju's going to go back to DK.
Yeah, or... And we didn't really talk about this, but it seems like maybe Yuju is also apprehensive towards marriage because her mom seems to be getting remarried. So maybe her parents didn't have a great marriage.
Mm-hmm. And she kind of reflects on that. Doesn't want that to happen to her.
Right. So yeah, I don't know. I want Hansung to be happy.
Yeah, totally.
He's a nice guy. He's just... I don't know who he will be happy with, though. We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have an I love you? Or a fuck you?
Fuck you moment. I'm going to say that makeup that her mom and sister did. Because that was tragic.
It was really bad.
I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. So that's my fuck you moment. And I love you moment. I will say Minyap helping out Unchen. Like, when she's trying to carry heavy things and stuff. Like, after he finds out that she's a girl, he's like, she's not going to be carrying those. No way. I'm going to help her.
Yeah, Minyap is like we said, a sweet, stupid puppy. Honestly, like, I feel like if Un-se was a bit more mature, like, because she's still, I think she's, like, a senior in high school at this point. I feel like they would be a good pairing, because Un-se seems, like, smart. Or, like, savvy. And she could just, like, tell him what to do, and he would just do it because he loves her so much. And seems very obedient.
Yes. But she's totally into Sunki right now.
Well, everyone is into Sunki.
Everyone, yeah.
He's super handsome. And also, has that, like, kind of artsy, mysterious vibe. My I love you... I just really love Hangyul and Unchan's chemistry when they're not, like, picking on each other. And their hug at the end was nice. Because
it was a good hug.
They like each other. I just want them to be happy. That is what I say about every drama. I just want them to be happy.
I think so, yeah. Live their best life.
That's just all I want for these people. So, yeah, so good. All right. Well, do we have anything else we want to cover?
I think that's it. We did all of our housekeeping at the beginning this time.
We did.
So, yeah.
I haven't asked you how you've been on the podcast.
I've been all right. I have work anxiety for tomorrow.
Oh, gosh.
That makes me, like, nauseous, honestly.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. But we're going to socially distance watch Grease with you guys tonight at the drive-in.
I'm excited.
And that's going to be so fun.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Andrew and I saw E.T. just the other day at the drive-in, and it was so much fun. And we, like, laid in the back of my bug. We had, like, blankets and stuff, and I was just, like, we were both so excited because we haven't, like, really gone anywhere at all these months. And so we were finally out somewhere, and we were just, like, real stupid. Like, getting, like, real dumb Instagram stories and stuff, and just, like, being loud and ridiculous and goofing off. It was fun.
Well, apparently Alex's Tesla has camping mode. So if you fold the back seats forward and the front seats recline in such a way that it makes, like, I think almost a flat surface.
Cool.
So you can sleep in the car.
Wow. Are you going to go in his car?
I think so, yeah.
Sweet, yeah.
So
we found, like, a little janky way of tying down the hood of the car, so that way it's, like, more at car level. I don't think you guys will have a problem because the Tesla's kind of shorter than the Bug is. But yeah, just so it's not, like, up and in anyone's way, because that's one thing that they ask. So y'all might want to bring something to tie it, like a string or a rope or a shoelace or something. Okay. We use like a zip tie and then, like, a really long twist tie. Both things we just found in my car, and we're like, we'll use these. And it worked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll let him know.
Okay.
Yay.
Yeah, it's exciting.
I have been good, too. I've been back at the office covering for some people. Hi. It's hard because it is easier for me to work at the office, but I hate being around people, and it's scary because Guys, what is wrong with America and people not wanting to wear masks?
I know. What is wrong with Texas and our governor not mandating masks from the beginning and having us on a longer lockdown? Why come the economy is more important than our lives?
Yeah. Not to get into economics now, but it's like, if you had just taken the small hit from the beginning, it would have been better than doing this super long, drawn-out disaster that we're in now, but whatever.
I know. What do we know, right? We're not in charge. No one gives a shit what we have to say, unless you're talking about dramas. No one cares.
Exactly. And I mean, talking about dramas is what I love talking about most, so.
Yes. This is true.
Yeah. So, I guess that's it. I'm just so used to telling people to, like, follow us at the end, so I'll just, like, say it again real quick. Follow us. Talk to us on the internet.
Yeah, you know where to find us.
Yeah, become a patron. Let us know what you want to see next. And we will talk to you guys next time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.